Okay, our lesson today is bearing. Let's take an example to understand what does it mean bearing. For example, what is the bearing from the house to the church? To know the bearing from the house to the church, I start from the house and I draw a line pointing to the north. Okay, after that, I will draw a line from the house to the church. My bearing is the angle that I will move from the north line till the line connecting the 2 points, this angle. But I have to move clockwise. So I always move when I get bearing clockwise. So if I told you that this angle is 50 degrees, to write the bearing, I just write it as 3 figures. The bearing of the church from the house is 50 degrees. Okay, let's take another example. What is the bearing from the shark to the surfer? I said the first step, I will draw a line from the shark pointing to the north. Then I will connect the 2 points of shark and surfer. I'll get the clockwise angle between the 2 lines that I have drawn. So this angle, if I told you that this angle is 120 degrees, we write the bearing as 3 figures. 120 is already 3 figures, so my bearing from the shark to the surfer is 120 degrees. Okay, what is the bearing from the fireman to the fire? Again, draw the north line or the line pointing to the north at what? He said from the fireman. So from the fireman, draw the line of north. Connect the 2 points and measure the angle clockwise. Okay, so this angle, if I give it to you by 290, so the bearing will be 290 degrees. These are 3 figures, so I will write it as it is. Okay, so the key points of bearing that you get the word from and you draw a line pointing to the north from the letter or the word after the word from. Number 2, you connect the 2 points and you measure the angle, but you have to move clockwise. You must write bearing as 3 figures. So the bearing starts from the north, move clockwise, write 3 figures. These are the key to solve bearing correctly. Okay, as we can see, bearing is a way of defining direction as an angle. So bearing is an angle that starts from the north, going clockwise to the other side that we want to measure. So bearing is an angle. For example, if I have point A and point B, that's the point A line pointing to the north. So the line of the north from point A. What is the bearing of B from A? So I have drawn the line of north from A because he said from A. Then I'll connect the 2 points and I will go clockwise and measure the angle. If this angle is given as 63, bearing must be written as 3 digits, 0, 63 degrees. In other words, if I'm standing at point A, facing north, by how many degrees I must turn clockwise to be facing point B? By 63 degrees or 0, 63 degrees. Okay, find the bearing of point A from point B. From point B, so means draw the line from point B. Then connect the two lines. Then measure the angle from the north line to the other line that I have drawn, but I have to go clockwise. So if I gave you that this angle is 85, so bearing from point B is 0.85 degrees. Why did I add 0? Because it must be 3 figures. So is it the same when I ask you, find the bearing from point B and find the bearing from point A? Of course not. Why? When I told you find the bearing from point B, you have put the line of north on B. But if it was from A, I was going to put the line of north at point A. Okay, for example, now, in each case, what is the bearing of A from B? So from B, I must put the line of north at B. And then I connect the 2 points A and B. And then I start moving clockwise from the line of north till I reach the other line that I have drawn. This angle is the one marked in red, and it is 140 degrees. So bearing of A from B is 140 degrees. Okay, another type of questions, he's telling me measure the bearing of B from A. So how to measure bearing? We said that bearing is an angle. So to measure an angle, you must use a protractor. Okay, how to place the protractor? The center of the protractor must be at point A, and the line of the north must be between on the line that is between the center and the 0. I will start measuring clockwise. So I will measure this angle. This angle is just before 60 by a small amount, so it is 58. So the bearing of B from A is 0.58 degrees. Let's try again. Put the center of the protractor on point A. Put the line joining the center and 0 on the north line. Start measuring clockwise. This angle is 150 degrees. So the bearing is 150 degrees. Okay, this one might be a little bit tricky. Why? If I put the center of the protractor on point A, this angle is more than 180, and the protractor ends at 180. So how can I solve this? I will measure the anti-clockwise angle, but this is not going to be my answer. After I get it, it will be 64. I must take it away from 360. Why? Because the full angle was 360. I will take this part to get the outside part, which is 296 degrees. Let's skip that one because it's measuring. Okay, another example, we're going to draw. B is a bearing 120 degrees from A. So I must draw an angle which is 120 degrees. Let's put the protractor, and then I will just first decide where is 120. Here is 120. So it will be anywhere on that line. But he wants me to make a distance 4 centimeters. How do I just measure the distance? I use a ruler. So I will decide where is the 4 centimeters, and then I will draw a line. This line has an angle of 120 degrees and a length of 4 centimeters. Okay, let's try again. Bearing B is a bearing 225 degrees. We just set any angle more than 180. We will do the trick of 360 minus this angle. So 360 minus 225, that is 135. So I will draw the anti-clockwise angle 135. I will make the line a distance of 5 centimeters. And now I have drawn 225 clockwise, because the anti-clockwise angle plus the clockwise angle must be 360. Okay, now what is the bearing of, okay, sorry, John runs from A to B and back again. What is the bearing of his outward run from A? He said from A, it means I draw the line at A, then connect the two lines. And I'll measure the angle, which is clockwise. So it will be, for example, if I give you this angle, 57. So the bearing will be 0.57. Okay, now what is the bearing of this return B? What is the bearing of this return run from B? From B, it means I will draw the line of north at B and measure the clockwise angle. This one. Oh, this one is a reflex angle, which is more than 180 degrees. So we said when I have an angle which is more than 180 degrees, I'll do the trick of 360 minus the anti-clockwise angle. Oh, but I don't know it. So first I have to get this angle. How to get this angle? The two lines are pointing to the north, so it means they are parallel. So the two angles inside is interior and they add up to 180. To get this angle, I will make 180 minus 57, and that's 123. Did I get my answer now? No, I must subtract this angle, the 123, from 360, which will give me 237. So the bearing is 237 degrees. Hope that the lesson is easy for you, and if you need any help, please refer back to me and I am going to explain further to you. Thank you. See you in the next session.